Alright guys, so we've done the internal build, now we're moving on to connecting up everything inside of the case. So in cases like mine, which come with rubber grommets in the side panel, you want to pass all the cables through the one next to the PSU and make them go to the back of the case. From the back of the case, you can route the cables wherever you want, like I did here, and then you just pass them back into the appropriate grommets and you get them into the section with your motherboard and everything. So first of all, you want to start off by connecting the 24 pin. So just like before, you plug it into the motherboard, push, and clicks into place. This is kind of like playing Legos. You just match up things and then you just connect them. So the 8-pin goes into the motherboard as well, but in the top area near the CPU. So the 8-pin connector powers the CPU. You want to also go ahead and plug the 6-pin PCIe connectors into the GPU. 6-pin, because they have 6 pins as you can see here. Just plug those in. Next step is I'm going to be passing the cables from my fan into the back area through the grommet and then going to be passing them back into the front. So once they're passed through, I'm just going to connect them into the CPU cooler, and then I'm also going to connect the CPU cooler into the power supply. Just like before. Nothing unknown so far, just like the external build. Alright. So I'm going to just push the power connector of the cooler into the back of the case where I'm going to connect it later on. Now the next thing we want to do is just enable SLI between the two graphic cards that I got. So you just put the bridge in. So this allows them to work together. You also want to go ahead and connect all the fans in the case to the motherboard. The good thing about this is then if you have special programs on the motherboard, you can actually control the fan speeds. So now we're going to be connecting the front I/O, the place where there's the USBs of the case, the audio ports and all that stuff, to the motherboard. Now you can see that I'm going to have a bit of trouble doing this here because the graphic cards are huge and they get in the way. So yeah, that's kind of a problem. So you should really do that, connect the front I/O before you install your graphic cards. You can find where to install your little connectors and everything by just looking in the motherboard booklet. The motherboard booklet just gives you all the information you really need for this. Once having finished with connecting the other stuff up, you want to go ahead and connect and power up the hard drives. So you just want to connect the SATA power connector into the hard drives like I've already done here and into the optical drive. Then you want to use the SATA cables to connect the hard drives, optical drive SSDs to the motherboard like I've done here. You can see them, they're connected in. You find the right spots where you have to connect them by just looking at the motherboard booklet again, like you always do. Now moving to cable management. This part takes a long time if it's your first time. So here you can see that it's a bit messy, but I've already managed to cable manage some of the stuff there. So first of all, you want to just look and visualize how everything is going to be arranged. That is the #1 priority in doing this. You can see that I've already zip tied some parts together. I just went ahead because I get really annoyed when everything is not neat. So here just using the zip ties and other things like little fixations against the case and all that stuff. You just want to arrange your wires and make them look a bit neater. It takes anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour to do this. Once you're happy with your cable managing, you can just put on the panel back onto the case, just hit it in place, and it'll all be good. Let's move on to turning the thing on. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh god. I'm actually kind of nervous. Always this feeling when building something. Just turn the screen on. Right. Wait. Okay, green lights. That's good. First time. Magic. So now that we know our computer is turned on, fortunately, we'll just move on to installing the software. Let's do this. We're so close to the end.